In the gym, some exercises are just famous, especially those that get you big guns and a bigger upper body. But did you know that you can use these exercises to get a more flexible upper body as well? Let me show you how.
The flexibility guy, Coach Elia.
The exercises I'm talking about are the pullover and the bench press. Yes, you can use these exercises to get bigger chest and lat muscles, also a bigger upper body. But what if I told you that you can use them also to get a more flexible upper body? You may wonder, why isn't everybody doing so? Why do people that go to the gym have stiff muscles, stiff shoulders, a stiff upper body in general? Well, I guess that they don't know the principles and the key points we're going to be seeing throughout this video. Let's start with the first exercise, the pullover. The pullover is a wonderful exercise to work on your lat muscles and to work on a range called shoulder flexion, which is one of the best ranges of motion you can use to stretch your shoulders as well. But if you use a short range of motion just to focus on that lat muscle pump, you're not gonna get any range of motion gains. But guess what? If you focus on the correct technique and on the correct principles, you're gonna gain lots of lat flexibility. You want to start with your back on top of a bench or a fitness ball. The fitness ball, I think, is a wonderful tool you can use because it adapts to your back shape. But if you don't have it, don't worry, use a bench instead. Put your back on the support, keep your hips at the same height as your shoulder blades. At this point, arms straight in front of your chest, hips up and chest in. Keep your hips at the same height as your chest and hold a weight in front of your chest with your arms almost completely straight. At this point, you do want to drive the weight behind your head, keeping your arms almost completely straight. Almost, not completely straight, almost completely straight. As you do that, two things are crucial. First, you don't want to flare your rib cage out. If you want to gain upper body, lats flexibility, more in particular, you don't want to let the ribs do the job, okay? Do this kind of thing. You don't want to open the ribs out. Keep your chest in, keep your ribs in. This way, you're going to work on your lat flexibility only. Second thing, as you get into the bottom position, you want to feel that that is your best range of motion. It's the best range of motion you can cover with that amount of weight. And we're talking about the weight at the end of the video. Pause at the bottom of the rep, which means in the best range of motion you can cover for at least a couple of seconds and come back up. Yes, the arms should be a little bent, but this doesn't mean that you have to bend your arms like 90 degrees or more. They are almost straight, all right? So think about something like 180 degrees or something less than that, like 160 and 170. You want to inhale when you start the movement, hold your breath throughout the whole eccentric motion, hold your breath at the bottom of the rep, exhale when you come back up. The second exercise I want to show you is the bench press. Now you have to rethink about the bench press a little. First, you want to use some dumbbells, not a barbell, because with the dumbbells you can work more on your range of motion. You want to start with your back on the bench. Who doesn't know the bench press? So you want to start with your back on the bench and the dumbbells in front of your chest, arms completely straight. From here, you want to drive your elbows down and wide apart, keeping them almost in line with your shoulders. Not exactly in line, because that is going to put your shoulders in a weird position, and which is not really healthy for the shoulder joint. So a little below that line, think about something like a 45-degree angle between your arm and your body. Get into the bottom position, try to stretch your chest there, and then come back up. The bottom position is critical here. I know that the bench press is a really important exercise in strength training and has its own technique. But when it comes to flexibility, if you're trying to gain more range of motion, you do want to focus on that part. And that part requires you here to open your chest up, bring your shoulders back, focus on the stretching effect on your chest. You really do want to feel that the chest is opening, is widening, is stretching at its best. Hold that bottom position for at least a couple seconds, feeling the stretch on your chest, on the front part of your delts, and then press back up. You want to inhale as you start the movement and you have your arms completely straight. Hold your breath throughout the eccentric motion, and for at least a couple seconds at the bottom of each rep, exhale as you come back up and straighten your arms completely. At this point, I bet you see these two exercises under a different light, because yes, you can work on your flexibility and you can work on your strength using the pullover and the bench press, two famous exercises to work on your upper body hypertrophy and strength, but now you can use them to work on your flexibility as well. Let's talk about the weight. How much weight should you use? Now, it really depends on what you do want to work on, but the weight should allow you to get into a deep stretch as you perform the exercise. So you don't want to use a lot of weight, because in that particular case, if you just use a lot of weight, you can't access your best range of motion because the weight is too much, all right? So your body can't express the best range of motion. It's just how the body works, all right? If you load the body with a lot of weight, for example, in a squat, you put, I don't know, 300 pounds on your back and you're not able to squat fully those 300 pounds, you're gonna stop short, all right? You're gonna stop perform like a quarter of a squat and come back up. It's the same in every range of motion you use, so you don't want to use a lot of weight. At the same time, you don't want to use a weight which is too low, because in that particular case, that weight is not gonna push your joints into the best range of motion they can cover. Sets and reps wise, you do want to perform 6 to 12 reps. This allows you to work on all these aspects of flexibility, strength, and muscle mass at the same time. Of course, fewer reps like 3, you would use a weight which would be too heavy. More than 12, like, I don't know, 20, 30 reps, you would use a weight which would be a little too light, and you wouldn't gain any kind of almost any strength and hypertrophy from them. So between 6 and 12 is your sweet spot, in my opinion. So now you can use these to get yourself from a gym bro to a flexibility and gym bro, if a flexibility bro even exists. Last but not least, remember that if you want to work on your upper body flexibility and strength at the same time, also your lower body flexibility and strength at the same time, you can get a personalized program with me. We can jump on a call, talk about your goals, and design a personalized program just for you. To do that, you can click on the link in the description down below. Remember also that if you enjoyed this video, you can hit the thumb up button and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about these exercises or other topics you may want to talk about in another video. Okay? Thank you so much for staying with me. Have a nice workout and see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, if you want to get stronger, more muscular, and at the same time work on your flexibility, you can do that with a specific training system. You can download my Flexibility Guy app on your phone, and you can follow the workouts you can find in there to work on your upper and lower body strength and flexibility at the same time. Check out the link in the description right now.